Mr. Speaker, I now want to proceed on the National Cathedral. The claim by the Honorable Minister for Finance that he used the contingency vote, Mr. Speaker, it will go down in our annals, in the records of this House, as the most ridiculous defense ever mounted. Contingency vote. Mr. Speaker, if you read our report, it is clear at page 11 of our report, paragraph 44, that the Finance Minister said that he relied on the contingency vote this House approved in the 2019 budget. Mr. Speaker, when you check the 2019 budget, page 210, what was approved by this House is 204,770,630. 204 million. The minister's own submission to us, when we asked for details, initially he was evasive. We wrote to him that he must let us know the total amount released on the National Cathedral so far. Mr. Speaker, when you put it together, it's 339 million Ghana cedis. So even if this finance minister decides to hide under the ridiculous explanation of contingency, we all know what contingency means. Contingency is something unforeseen, something that you didn't plan for.
Not a cathedral you have planned for with
a cathedral who you cut short. The president cut short March 7, 2017. You wrote letters to property owners. I have a copy here, May 30th, 2018, asking them to prepare to vacate and that their buildings were going to be demolished since May 2018. Then suddenly you didn't know that this was a project you were going to implement. It became an unforeseen commitment and you are using contingency. We insist, Mr. Speaker, that even if you want to hide under the ridiculous afterthought of contingency, it cannot hold. And this House will not buy it. This side of the House will not be swayed and deceived by this grand deception. Mr. Speaker, what is also worrying is that these 339 million Ghana cedis, all of these withdrawals, Mr. Speaker, you will be shocked when you go to the site, Mr. Speaker. We are also raising issues of accountability, issues of transparency. 339 million, Mr. Speaker. This is the latest drone footage from the site. 339 million. This is what. This is what. 339 million. I asked the Honorable Kenneth Friata if Data Bank has 339 million. Is this what we'll get for it? Is this what he will use it for? Some pits that look like a Galamsey site, Mr. Speaker. I also have here, Mr. Speaker, a letter from the contractors who have asked their workers to leave site since March 14, 2022, that they are not receiving funds for lack of funds. I'll tender it, Mr. Speaker. March 14. So work has actually been abandoned for lack of payment. So where did the money go? The 339 million, where did it go? Mr. Speaker, let the finance minister be reminded that in the Bible, in 1 Chronicles 28 verse 3, David was stopped by the Lord for building a temple for him. David was stopped. This is the kind of conduct that the Lord eschews. He abhors. He will not, such conduct doesn't glorify him. And we say we are building a temple where we will go to confess our sins for blessings to come upon the Lord on the basis of deception. Mr. Speaker, in any case, if the Honorable Finance Minister believes in his own contingency argument, why is it that in the current budget, the latest budget, the 2023 budget, he has, when we caught him, he has hurriedly run away from contingency. At page 197, he has now done the right thing. Allocated National Cathedral under item 19, Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture, 80 million Ghana cedis. Page 197. Why didn't you hide it under contingency for 2023 after you have been caught? When you have been exposed. So, Mr. Speaker, I am surprised that our colleagues will say that our grounds don't have basis. Ghanaians have followed, they have observed. We have a finance minister who breaches the Constitution, Article 252, district assembly fund allocations. He violates it. There's a Supreme Court decision. He violates it with impunity. PIAC has reported that instead of complying with the 5% rule, he is doing only 1.74%. The Auditor General is also saying that our oil receipts, 1.3 billion cedis, cannot be found. The Controller and Accountant General disagrees with the Finance Minister on his accounting. 1.3 billion Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, I contend that we are where we are because of the bad leadership, the incompetence, the ineptitude, the cluelessness of this Finance Minister, and he must leave now. And I call on our colleagues to join us to kick him out. And President Akufo-Addo, learn from your cousin on how he quickly changed his legal team. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.